So I'm here at Star Wars Weekend 2010 with a very, very special guest. She is not just a celebrity host, she's also the voice of Ahsoka Tano in the Clone Wars series. She's a Disney fan, she's a Star Wars fan. She's Ashley Eckstein, my special guest. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This is awesome.
Talk to me about the role of Ahsoka Tano and how you got to be a part of the Star Wars franchise.
Oh, goodness. Well, I first auditioned for the Clone Wars just like any other audition. I got a call from my agent, and they said, you know, you have an audition for the new Star Wars cartoon. I didn't even know it was about the Clone Wars yet. And I was going in to audition for Padme, and, you know, I told my agent it was funny because I was trying to match Padme's voice, and I said, you know, I just really don't think I sound like Padme, but I'll go in and give it a shot. Well, sure enough, very first line out of my mouth, they stopped me and they said, no, we're sorry, you sound too young, you know, to be Padme. And I was like, darn it, I knew it. And then they go, but we have this new role, and that's all they told me. They said, it's a young girl, would you mind reading for that? And I was like, okay, sure, you know. And the lines were very generic. I mean, it had nothing to do with the character of Ahsoka, and I ended up getting a call back, and you know, I didn't even think my callback went that well, to be honest with you. And about a month later, I found out I got the part, but still, I didn't know what part I got. I just knew I'm this new girl, you know, she's about 14 years old, that's all I knew. So I show up on my first day of work, and they tell me, like, who I'm playing, and I'm kind of sitting in my chair like, how did this happen? How am I here? What's going on? And they were like, oh, and on top of it, we just, you know, want you to use your own voice and you know, help us give input on who this girl is. So it really was kind of like a dream come true. I pinched myself several times that day.
I'm sure that when fans, especially young girls, come up to you and get a chance to meet you at events like this, it's got to be great, because if you close your eyes and listen to you speak, you are Ahsoka Tano.
Oh, yeah. Always in time to save your life, Sky Guy. You know, to me it is a dream come true, because actually, and this is kind of a Disney connection, and when I was cast as Muffy on That's So Raven, I did the show off and on for 4 years, and I just fell in love with children's programming. I realized the impact that you can have on a child's life by doing something, you know, positive programming for kids. And I really tried to seek out more family programming. When I was cast as Ahsoka, it was just, it was, like I said, the dream role, because, you know, she just proves that girls can kick butt too. You know, in fact, I mean, I don't even think that Ahsoka, you know, she doesn't even think about the fact that she's a girl. She just thinks that she's the best Padawan for the job. It doesn't matter whether she's a girl or whether, you know, if it's no difference between a boy or a girl. She's just the right person for the job, and she's out to prove that.
And the great thing about the character is just that. You know, you're not just another Jedi, as if being a Jedi in itself would be a bad thing, but you really are a role model for girls that see Star Wars and see the original trilogy and say, you know, there are no female Jedi. Now you represent that and give them, and I see the girls who are lining up to meet Ahsoka here in the parks and getting their lightsabers, because it's okay to be a girl and cool and be a Jedi.
Oh yeah, that's the cool thing about our show. I mean, there were so many female Star Wars fans even before the Clone Wars, but now there's even more. I mean, I found a statistic where it says almost 50% of all Star Wars fans are women and girls, and especially with our show, a ton of young girls. I mean, I can't tell you, my line here at the autograph booth is at least 50-50, you know, guys, girls, and a ton of little girls. And I love to see the little girls come dressed up as Ahsoka. I love to hear their stories about how they play Star Wars with their brother, and because that was me. I was a huge tomboy growing up. I mean, I love dresses and makeup and stuff now, but I was not that way growing up. I mean, I wore my hat backwards. I was the only girl on the baseball team, and so I wish I would have had a character like Ahsoka to look up to when I was young. The Clone Wars is something that the entire family can sit down together and watch and all enjoy. I mean, there's something for the parents, there's something for the kids, and I feel that that's kind of rare nowadays. I mean, Disney does a fantastic job at creating family programming, but there's not too many options nowadays where the whole family can sit down and enjoy something together. And, you know, one thing I like about our episodes is at the beginning of every episode is what we call the Jedi fortune cookie, and the whole episode is about that fortune cookie, and it's something I think as a family, after the episode is over, you can talk about and say, okay, well, what did that mean? What happened in the episode, and what did they mean by that? So it's cool, and it's nice that families can have that family bonding experience together.
And that's why the marriage of Disney and Star Wars just makes such perfect sense, because they are that family-friendly kind of thing, and Star Wars weekends, you know, are the perfect event. This is your second year being a celebrity host, and for you, this is also kind of a bit of a homecoming for you as well.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm a huge Disney fan. I guess you could say I grew up Disney because my dad worked for Disney. He worked for Disney for over 15 years in the food purchasing department. He helped buy all of those turkey legs that you see everyone eating. So I grew up from the time I was 2 until I was 18 going to Disney. I mean, oh my gosh, I went to tapings of the Mickey Mouse Club. I just grew up here, and this was actually where I had my very first job. On my 16th birthday, I went and filled out my application literally on my birthday to work for Disney, and Hollywood Studios was actually my park, and so this really is like coming home for me. It's awesome.
Well, I saw it as you started to describe Disney. You got that very genuine, you know, look in your eyes and that sparkle and that smile, because it's so genuine that you do love this place and you love this park. So tell me, what was your first role here as a cast member at the studios?
Oh my goodness. Well, I did a variety of different things, but a favorite thing of mine was I was a cheerleader in the Hercules parade. So that was fun. You know, I would say a lot of actresses, you know, they want to go win an Oscar, and I always just wanted to be on the Disney Channel. So when I moved to LA and I was cast as Muffy on That's So Raven, it was just like a dream come true, because I'm like, I am now going to be on the Disney Channel. I mean, I have my t-shirt from when I was in first grade. My neighbor was a cameraman for the Mickey Mouse Club, and he got me a t-shirt with every single cast member from the Mickey Mouse Club autographed, and I still have it to this day. I mean, like I said, I'm a huge Disney fan.
Even as an adult, you're still a Disney fan, and you have a lot of Disney connections, as well as Star Wars too.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Disney first, because if I'm correct, you're a huge Alice in Wonderland fan, so much so you have the Alice room in your house?
Yes. Well, my husband is so kind to indulge in my collection. You know, first of all, it even goes back a little further. My husband grew up in Central Florida as well. He was born and raised in Sanford, Florida. And him and his family, they're huge Disney fans. And so when we got engaged, actually we got engaged here at Disney at the Grand Floridian Resort. And I said, okay, I really want our wedding reception at Disney. So our wedding reception was at the Yacht and Beach Club. My bridal luncheon was an Alice in Wonderland tea party. And I just have a huge Alice in Wonderland collection. Enough for an entire room. I've been collecting since I was a little girl. I mean, I have the old Alice in Wonderland dress from when I was like 4, and people just started to give me Alice in Wonderland stuff, and as I got older, I appreciated how much stuff I had, and I realized, okay, this is a collection, you know? And so I started to collect stuff myself, and I've got, I mean, my formal dining room set is Alice in Wonderland. I mean, the actual dish set, instead of getting fine china, I got Alice in Wonderland china.
I guarantee people want to see your collection. Guys, she is married to a professional baseball player, David Eckstein, so you can see her collection, but she is also, again.
He did put the ring in a Cheshire cat purse, though.